Welcome to your first look here at Racer X. I'm Jason Weigandt. This is all brought to you by 6D Helmets, dedicated to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. Yes, we are back at RedBud again. We're going to race on Monday after racing Friday, and that leads to the obvious question about recovery. We are all well aware that most of the time these guys will race on Saturday, fly home Sunday, and ride motos on Monday. That's in a normal season. That's pretty typical. So that's actually only 24 hours between rides. So racing again 2 days apart on paper doesn't seem like a big deal, but just because they ride motos on Monday doesn't necessarily mean they were 100% feeling fresh. They could be logging motos, but would those motos be fast enough and intense enough to actually get a result they wanted if it were a race? So that's going to be the challenge here. 2 days off between races, Friday and then Monday, and we'll see how it goes. And it's even more pivotal because we've actually gone past the halfway mark of this hopefully 9-round championship as we get to round 5. And momentum is shifting quickly. Zach Osborne with that big 1-1 on Friday. That has really changed the tone of the 450 class. I feel like leaving round 3 at Ironman, everyone could have chalked up the 2 wins for Zach as mud race and somewhat muddy race. He did it on the same track both times, and he was good but not great at Ironman. But now he's proven he can do it on multiple tracks, different terrain, and he even said that the way RedBud was prepped on Friday was not typically the type of track he likes. He wanted it to be slower and more technical. It was kind of wide open and fast, and he still dominated. So the competition is going to have to turn that momentum back around here for round 5 tomorrow. So what's the series points leader in the 450 class think? Luckily, he has a motorhome, so he's at the track today. So we had a chance to talk to Zach about it. All right, so we have Zach Osborne, who is one of the only guys nice enough to, you texted me thanks for free Racer X sunglasses after you won a 450 National. I don't think a lot of riders would be that cool. And you're giving me time here. But how's the recovery like? Should you not even be standing right now?
No, it was cool on Friday, so that made a huge difference. If it had been like a sweltering July 4th RedBud, we could be in for a hurt tomorrow. But I think with the way the weather is and the way the weather is going to be tomorrow, it's not a huge deal. I had 2 really like nice motos, and it wasn't so heavy for me, so that also plays into it. Had a nice couple days here locally with my family, and went to a farm-to-table restaurant last night and just kind of hung out at some friends, and it's just it's been a really nice trip actually.
Yeah, was there management in those motos? Were you able to take a little something on? Like, it seemed like you weren't trying to just yard everybody, you were trying to hold it.
Well, definitely not trying to yard everybody, because I know that every little bit's going to count for tomorrow.
Okay.
So once I got it to where my goal was down here in the bottom, the wall jump, when they were jumping that little tunnel jump and I was on the wall jump, I was good, you know? Okay. And if they got a little closer than that, I needed to pick it back up. Oh. And then also the tabletop going towards the leap. Yep. If I could see him off the right side of the tabletop in the rollers, I was good. If he was closer than that, then I needed a hammer. So that was kind of my...
And also, did it help? The track was not normal RedBud prep. Was it actually less fatiguing? It seems shallower and more choppy than big rollers.
Yeah, I think the main factor, like for me, is hydration and keeping as fresh as possible. Right. Like that when you get super dehydrated, when you get super dehydrated, you get sore. Like I go through it in Florida every week, so I know exactly what it feels like. Yeah. So that was the biggest factor for me, was just that it wasn't very hot.
Right. So the track prep, whatever, but it could be different.
Yeah, hopefully we get the rain that they call for tonight, and it will be a little deeper tomorrow. I mean, it was quite flat. Not flat, but just different than normal. You know, normally have like 8 ruts and everyone's bumpy, and Friday it was more, I would say, hard packed than normal, but still it's a sick track, you know.
You ran this scoop tire, which is great for starts. It's not so good sometimes all the way around the track, but you, I think, are more comfortable with the scoop tire around the track than a lot of riders. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah, I ride it a lot at home. Yeah. Alden and I go absolutely in circles about it, because I want to ride it every day, and he would rather me never ride it. Okay. Because he thinks we run the normal tire more. So going to the second moto, I was nervous about it. Like I was nervous that I had made the wrong choice.
Do you know that RJ?
Yeah, and I heard him on the podium, and I'm like, gosh, like he was my gauge. After the first moto, he came off the track, and I was like, what did you think? He was like, oh, for sure. Okay. So I was like, okay, no big deal. And then second moto, he got on the podium and he was like, yeah, the scoop tire was, I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I doing right here? So then but I knew also that when it's hard like that, for me, it's more managing my intensity, because I can tend to override a little bit. So when you override with that tire,
yeah,
it's not going to go good, you know. So
I see.
I had to manage the tire more than anything, which actually made me ride a little bit better in the end, I think.
Well, what I'm getting at here is you had 2 great starts, and I know starts always seem random, but I feel like your ability to manage the scoop tire so you can use it on the start, that's repeatable. If you use it again and other guys don't, you're going to have those starts again, or at least close.
Yeah, it's not always repeatable. You know, there's tracks like Ironman, you definitely couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Loretta's, either one, you couldn't have done it just because of the way the start was.
But tomorrow?
I think so, yeah. I mean,
exactly.
unless they go out there and steamroll it tonight, I would say I'll be on it in both motos,
Okay.
you know. I actually changed it for the second practice on Friday and was just really uncomfortable. So I went back to it for the motos and I felt better. So, but, you know, like I said, it's something that I ride all the time that I'm super comfortable with, that most guys probably rarely ride at Southwick once a year or whatever normally.
Right.
So it's something I also use a lot in my 250 days as well. So it's something that I like to ride with.
All right, last thing on this recovery, I came into the motorhome to shoot this, and you're just getting full massage, dude.
Yeah.
So it's good? You feeling the body's good?
No, I feel great. Everything looks good as far as my numbers and stuff go, and been sleeping well, and it's been quite a relaxing couple of days, you know. Like the hard thing about the grind of the season or whatever is the travel. You know, you go to bed it's hard for me to go to bed even on sometimes at Supercross I don't go to bed. Like there's just that much adrenaline and there's that much excitement that, you know, 3-4 in the morning I'm still watching the race wide awake, and even on an outdoor night it's often midnight or whatever, and then so you've done 2 30-minute motos, a full day, and then you go to bed at midnight, you get up at 4 to get on the flight at 6, and that's when things get techie. So as far as from a rider's perspective, my rider's perspective, this is an easier thing for us, just like as was Salt Lake. You know, I think a lot of people were scared of how it would be, like, you know, with that many races consecutively or whatever, but it's actually quite a bit. It's like half a job almost, because we don't have to do all the travel and we don't have to do as much during the week, and you know, it's more about just active recovery than really getting the hammer out during the week.
It's cool. All right, thanks, dude. Good luck. All right, thanks, Zach, for the time. You'd seen him getting massages before we did that interview. Recovery is a big part of the game for all these guys, and they've all got different plans. A lot of guys came to the track actually and rode bikes around on the gravel to just loosen up. We'll see who did it right come Monday. As for the 250 class, a little bit different story. It's not just energy recovery, but for Dylan Ferrandis, who was the points leader coming into this doubleheader, he's worried about this shoulder. Had the big crash in Moto 1, said the rest of the moto it really hurt. It really hurt between motos. And then he told me that he got a shot. They don't have a lot of turnaround between motos. It's only 1 hour between. He got a shot a few minutes before he went to the gate for Moto 2. And the sight lap and the first 2 laps, the shoulder was still hurting bad. And then he said the adrenaline and the shot kicked in, and then the shoulder felt okay. And then the rest of the second moto, he felt pretty much as he normally does. And he did dig deep down the stretch, getting Alex Martin to at least salvage a third in that moto. But he's got a lot of things to worry about, not only trying to get 12 points back on Jeremy Martin, who is really rolling right now, but hoping that this shoulder isn't going to bother him too much. Now, he did say he could get the shot again for the racing on Monday, so he's not super worried about the pain there, but long term, this could be something he's going to have to deal with. He just doesn't know. He hasn't gone and gotten it checked because we're just hanging out here at RedBud. As for Martin, I mean, look, the pathway is getting more and more clear. If he wins again, especially if it's a 1-1, and everybody knows the next track on the schedule is Millville, and we don't know the situation with the shoulder of Ferrandis, who would have thought? I mean, Ferrandis has been going so fast, but now we're seeing a real pathway for Martin. So like I said in the 450s, a very critical part of this championship. And what we always like about the 250s, it's not just about those guys battling for the title. You never know what young kid is going to catch fire. We've mentioned it over and over, and now we have a new name to throw in. What a performance by Ty Masterpool. First race this year, did not race Supercross, was injured, missed the first couple rounds of this championship, and then he pulls, I'm going to say, a whole shot from heaven in that first moto and rode awesome. We had a chance to catch up to Ty today. Okay, so here we are at Ty Masterpool. I'm not going to lie. When I saw 41 Starbike riding through the pits on like Tech Day, like the day before the race, one of the amateur kids, which one is it?
Nick.
Nick
Yeah.
is 41, and I'm like, is he racing amateur day? I didn't even know that was your number this year because we haven't seen you ride 41 ever. This came about pretty quick to come race.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of what I was shooting for with the broken leg. I knew I was kind of going to get released around September 1st, so
Yeah.
I was always kind of shooting for it, but, you know, just see how it was the first couple days back on jumps and all that, so kind of knew it was RedBud, though.
So I was trying to figure from you before the motos, like how many, obviously you were riding fast enough for them to say go race, but did you know about 30 minutes? Did you know if you had that?
Yeah, I actually started riding a little bit before I was supposed to, just on smooth corner tracks on figure eights.
Yeah.
I actually did a couple, I think I did a 30 on like a figure eight, so that was pretty insane.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did that, but I only did a couple 30s, and then I started jumping about right around like a week. I think it was like a couple days before I flew out to California, and then true test was kind of in California and all that.
30 minutes on a figure eight, what thoughts run through your mind? How do you not get dizzy? How do you not start thinking of television shows? Like, how do you focus?
It was mainly just kind of, I don't know, that was the test. I either did that or, I mean, that was pretty much the only choice I had. It was really, I mean, you can be in great shape physically, like road biking and all that, but I mean, there's a bike fitness, what's kind of different too. I mean, obviously, like, I've been working out very hard with as much as I could with my broken leg, like upper body, but I mean, after the first round, I mean, I'm pretty spent and all that. Legs are fried and back and like very sore, but.
Yeah, even how was the second moto? How did that feel? Because Moto 1 was obviously awesome. How was Moto 2?
It was pretty good, just kind of a little sluggish and stuff. Terrible start, way back on the pack, and then mainly just kind of my back, pretty hyped actually going into this one. I found out some stuff. I was hyperventilating the first moto, from stomach cramp and all that. So pretty hyped about going into on Monday and all that, just from finding out that stuff. So.
Oh, okay. So you're not so worn out now that you're like, oh, Monday's going to be tough. Like you think you learned stuff that you can improve on.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired, but I mean, I think I'll be good. I think I'll be good by then.
Do we really need more star Yamahas up front? Like, dude, we already had like a ton. Like, we didn't need this.
More the better to me.
That's right. All right, Ty, good to have you back. Number 41.
Yeah.
We won't forget ever again. All right, so that's Ty. How about that? Doing 30-minute motos on a figure eight, and he said he actually hit the same rut, the same tire tracks every single time. Hit a turn track where he did 80 laps, hit the same line every time. It is amazing the skills that these riders have. And for those of you that ride, you know, when you're in midair over a jump, that's actually one of the few chances you have to get a rest. Doing 180 corners, that really takes energy. So he said he was happy to be able to hit Larocco's leap because he had a chance to get a few extra breaths in that he wasn't able to do with his turn track motos at home. I thought that was pretty interesting insight to where you actually expend your energy at a motocross track. So that's Ty. We'll see how he does here, along with that other group of young kids. Jet Lawrence, this close to a podium over and over this year. Maybe he'll break through. RJ Hampshire has been great. McElrath and Troll Train Alex Martin have been in there as well. Lots of contenders still in that class. But at the tip of the spear, Martin versus Ferrandis, it could all change come Monday, and we're going to be here to cover it. That's our first look here. RedBud 2, all brought to you by 6D Helmets, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. And why shouldn't you be? Thanks for watching.